everybody. This is Macaulay Culkin from the Bunny Is Podcast. That's right, the Macaulay Culkin from the Bunny Is Podcast. Isn't that amazing? I've actually been told when I do ads that I should bring up my name and the name of my podcast, the Bunny Is Podcast with Macaulay Culkin, as many times as I possibly can. Yeah, so check out my podcast. It's actually pretty funny. Wait, what's the name of it again? What's my name again? Yeah, whatever. Enjoy. Now go back to whatever you're listening to. Sorry I interrupted you.
You are listening to Any Given Sunday, a part of the Dead End Podcast Network. Please subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and all other podcasting services. Please make sure you check out Dead End Hip Hop, Dead End Sports, Dead End Gaming, Is the Mic Still On, Chris Platt's Strictly Hip Hop and Hoops Talk, and a host of other shows on our podcast network. Thank you for listening and enjoy the show. This is Any Given Sunday for Sunday, November 24th, 2019. I'm your host, Manny Brown. What's up, everybody? Hopefully you guys had a happy, safe, blessed week. It is Thanksgiving week, of course, my favorite holiday, my birthday coming up. So it is definitely a good week. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. My guest this week is my man, part of the Dead End clan, the Dead End family, Brandon Beezy430. If you follow him on Twitter and Dead End Hip Hop on YouTube and all that. Brandon Beezy430 White. What's going on, man? Welcome to Any Given Sunday for the very first time. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Yeah, this is my first time on here.
First time on the show.
Crazy. This is my
first time, man.
Wow. I can't believe this. I can't believe it's been so long. We've been chatting for so long. This is my first time on here, man. Like, that's crazy. But, yeah, man, I'm glad to be on, man. Ready to talk some sports and stuff with you, man. I always love talking sports.
No doubt, man. We actually had some great content before we went live or whatever. And, I gotta bring this up. So don't mind me. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I gotta bring this up. But Brandon is, Beezy right here. My man Beezy right here is a Michigan State basketball fan and a Michigan football fan. So I just need you to explain that to the folks out there that may be listening, that hear that and like, what? Scratching their head right now, listening to this, like, yo, What is going on? Like, how do you do this? Go ahead.
Right. Okay. So the reason why I'm a Michigan Wolverine football fan and a Michigan State basketball fan was, as a kid growing up, my dad and his twin brother were fans of Michigan football. Michigan football and kind of basketball, but I've always seen them rep the Michigan when football season come around. It was kind of like, okay, that's when I saw them repping it hard to the core. But also as a kid, me playing organized basketball since I was like yay high, I used to always go to Michigan State basketball camps because they was always cheaper than all the other university camps that they had for us kids growing up. So I used to always go to Michigan State. My parents would take me to Michigan State my dad would take me to Michigan State basketball camp. So I used to always go there, and it was just kind of like, well, I'm getting my basketball roots. I'm getting my game from going to these Michigan State basketball camps. So I'm like, I feel tied to Michigan State basketball. At the time we had Sean Restford who was there, Eric Snow that was there, and I've always been a fan of Magic Johnson. So it was just kind of like, okay, well, yeah, I'm a Michigan State basketball guy. So that's why. It's kind of like personal reasons of why I root for different schools. I root for, football, Michigan football, Wolverines for one reason, and I do Michigan State basketball for another reason. So there you go. For people that's listening, I know they're all wondering. I know I sound like a super trader, but look, there's definitely personal reasons why. I'm not just doing this like what we were saying earlier, Manny. Oh, I'm just repping for the state. No, I have my reasons of why I root for both of those schools in two different sports. So there you go.
I needed clarity because when I heard that, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
and then of course he explained it to me. So now I understand it because we all have our personal reasons. And sometimes you don't. Like sometimes when you pick up a team as a kid, like there's no real, you young, you impressionable. So you just watch whatever your parents or your dad is watching at the time. And you just like, oh, okay, I'm a fan of this team. Like the Mets. My dad was a Met fan, loved the Mets. A little bit of time I spent with him, he was always watching the Mets, was talking about the Mets or whatever. So I just became a Met fan. Like it was just natural. Like, oh, okay, you young and impressionable. Your dad's talking about a team. That's the team you're going to follow. The Jets, I like the colors. Literally, that's all it was. I like the colors. I like the Kelly Green jerseys back in the day that they played in the 90s. And that's the only reason when I was 6, 7 years old, I started rooting for the Jets. They were always on TV, so I was a Nebraska fan. And plus I knew I knew Jamal Lord that went to Nebraska. So it was like, okay, I'm a Nebraska fan. Like, it's natural. Like, okay, I'm gonna root for this team. Like, so, when you're young, you don't really got like like people think that there's like these in-depth, I mean, you got an in-depth reason, but a lot of times, like, it's just like you young and impressionable, you find a reason to root for a team. There's no real reason or real logic to rooting for a team specifically. Like, you just like, you young and that's it. You just pick up a team. Like, I don't know. I don't know. That's my best way. Yeah, you just become a fan. But I had to put that out there because that's something that I think people will find interesting. Like, Michigan State basketball fan, Michigan football fan. That's. So there's not one part of you that wants to see Michigan State football even do a little bit, like even a little bit well.
Only when I see. Only when I kind of see Michigan, like when they have like them suspect year, like when they be like 3-10 or something, and then Michigan State is the only team that can play Ohio State, because we hate Ohio State. So if Michigan State going up against Ohio State, then I'm like, look, whoop Ohio State ass. I'm gonna be green and white for this game because Michigan ain't doing nothing. So I'm rooting for green and white to whoop Ohio State ass. So that's the only time. Okay.
All right. I had to get that out of the way first. So, yeah. So now, what's good, man? What's good, man? Welcome officially to the show, though, man. I've been waiting to get you on for a while. Just been clearing my guest list or whatever. So it was only a matter of time. We was definitely gonna get you on the show. So. Yeah, man. No doubt.
You had Ken on here before, right?
I've had Ken on a couple times. I've been making my way down the dead end crew. So eventually I get to everybody. But man.
Got to.
Before we start, I always like to give my guests, especially first time guests, an opportunity to introduce themselves to the audience. People that may not be familiar with them, may not follow their work. So just go ahead and tell the audience, man, who Beezy430 is, man.
All right, so yeah, Beezy430. Of course, I'm like 1/5 dead in hip hop, 1/5 dead in sports, 1/5 dead in gaming. I mean, I'm just like I'm a part of a whole bunch of entities, man. Born and raised in Detroit. Been living there since pretty much from the time I was out the womb till I was about 22, 23 years old, and I moved down to Atlanta, Georgia. Pretty much because of career purposes, job purposes. When I left Detroit, the job market was awful. And I had just got my skills in HVAC. So once I finished up HVAC, it was like 5-6 companies down here in Georgia that was like ready to hire me. They was asking me like, when can you start? Like, can you start today? I'm like, wait a minute, I'm in another state. Let me get my stuff together first before I head down or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I've been down in Atlanta ever since, man. I love it. I still rep my Detroit squad always, forever. Like it's amazing how many people I realize that's from Detroit that moved down here. And every time I go to a Piston game, when the Pistons play the Hawks, every time I go down to State Farm Arena, every time I go down, it's like our reunion. It's like a reunion, like, because you gonna know who's from Detroit. Once you see people rocking the Pistons uniform or like Detroit Tigers fitted D, you already know. Like, what up, though? It's like you all seeing everybody. We all have our own little section, and we just be kicking it, man. So yeah, I've been in Atlanta for 15 years now, man, and I love it, man. I end up meeting Rod and Ken and FIFA and Mike, and we've been doing Dead End since 2010, 2011, man. So just other brands and other stuff just expanded from that, and we just been building and building, So yeah, that's
we'll get to all right, we'll get to the start of Dead End because that's interesting, man. Y'all are getting ready to celebrate 10 years doing this, man. That's crazy, and that deserves its own attention. So I'll get to that in a second. But born and raised in Detroit, how was it living in Detroit, man? Obviously, Detroit's. I hear it's getting better. It's starting to recover, but obviously the thing you think about in Detroit, obviously the recession, the terrible times that the city's gone through really for the last, almost 2 decades or whatever. How was it growing up in Detroit, man? Just kind of explain that.
Oh man, it was lovely, man. Like, I mean, as a kid, the one thing I love, especially and I'm going to touch on the music side for a second, especially when it came to like growing up listening to music, I grew up in a family that was just some music heads. Like, my dad and mom was just music lovers. And then, growing up, because I was really into like R&B and soul and stuff first before I got indulged in hip hop. So by the time I got really indulged in hip hop, the one thing I loved about Detroit, living in Detroit, is like you get music from everywhere. Like it wasn't like, you know, if I was growing up in New York where I would be like heavily favored towards New York, or, you know, and not paying attention to in Detroit, you on the radio during the golden, quote unquote, golden era of hip hop, like you can, on the radio, you would hear Wu-Tang forever. You would hear freaking Luke. You would hear Raekwon. You would hear Tupac. You would hear Drew Down. You would hear, I mean, like E40. Then next you would hear Redman. Like you was getting so much different flavors. Then you hear Outkast. Then you hear Scarface. Then you hear, you know, it was just like, it was so crazy how, you know, we was right in the middle of everything. I always look at Detroit as like we were in the middle of all the other flavors that was going on before we even started putting our own foot into the hip hop culture as a city. But like before growing up, I was never biased towards a quote unquote a certain sound. Like I talked to dudes that grew up down here in the South, like they were more favored to like Southern stuff. Like they were like, oh, I only listen to Goody Mob, Outkast, you know, such and such. Or I don't mess around with the Jay-Z's and the Nas and all that, because it was just like they were so used to their sound, so they was favored towards their sound. So, but for Detroit, we gravitated to a little bit of everything, man, and we was able to appreciate like all different, you know, all the coasts. So like that's the one thing I do love about growing up in Detroit, is like we were just so mixed in with so much different stuff. It didn't matter what we play. Like, yeah, go ahead and play that Snoop. All right, yeah, go ahead and play that Biggie. Oh yeah, go play that Scarface. Oh yeah, bump that Luke real quick. Bump, you know, like it was just it was crazy, man. Like I loved it, man. Yeah, growing up as a kid, you know, household. My parents was never really super strict on me and my sister, but we never took advantage of our parents not being strict on us. We were still doing everything we wanted to do, but we just never took advantage of like staying out super late, you know, doing dumb stuff or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's amazing, like the neighborhoods I lived in, like it was a nice little middle class family neighborhood, and then you can literally go a block over and that'll literally be like that's a crack house, dope house. Blase. Then you go a block over again, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's a nice little middle class. Everybody cut their grass and stuff like that. It's cool. You go a block over, oh man, that shit was like a war zone. So like, that's how the neighborhoods I grew up in, man, was like so crazy in Detroit. And like, I used to play in those crack house like streets and blocks. Of course, as a kid, I didn't know, but like once I started getting older, and like once I got in high school, so I was like, man, I was messing around with some messed up stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
you be looking like what the hell was I thinking? Like,
what the hell was? Yeah. So, but yeah, growing up in Detroit for me, man, it was fun, man. Especially, and then on the sports side, it was definitely fun. You know, we always had, growing up as a kid, we always looked at basketball. NBA and hockey was always kind of like our go-to. Like, we knew growing up, if we're going to have a sucky baseball team and a sucky football team, but when basketball and hockey season come, we know we're going to be at least playoff contenders, if not championship contenders. You know what I'm saying? So that was growing up. Because even when we had Barry Sanders, you know, the front office still didn't do a lot to put together a winning team, which is why he retired as early as he did, because he was sick of sacrificing his body for that front office that wasn't doing nothing. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, like you said, the sports side, man, yeah, we had Isaiah, we had Steve Eiserman, he's like the Isaiah Thomas of hockey. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it was dope, man. It was really dope in the sports world. I mean, like I said, our football and baseball wasn't too great. I mean, especially after we won the World Series in '84. After that, we was been Cecil Fielder and Nick Middleton. I mean, we just been kind of like the baseball team has been ass throughout the entire '90s. But you know what? One thing about Detroit, we're gonna still support our teams no matter like what. Like, I remember going to Tigers games in the '90s with my dad, and that thing be packed. And we was like 100-loss team. Like we'd go like,
absolutely,
you know, 28 and 103. But when them games come, they be packed. Even some of the seasons that the Red Wings had bad seasons, those games at Joe Louis Arena packed. Like we still support our teams no matter what, man. Same thing goes for the Pistons, at least back then. You know, even if we had like somewhat, you know, kind of bad years, especially during the Grant Hill years when we was terrible, the Palace was still packed, man. It was still a packed house. So that's one thing I will say about Detroit teams, about us, is that we gonna ride for our teams through thick or thin. I'm pretty sure you saw me ride for my team even when we sucked ass. I'm like, look, it's still Detroit basketball at the end of the day. I know we suck in the East, but guess what? I'm still repping my squad. So that's one thing I noticed.
Oh yeah, he rep his Pistons, no doubt. He rep his Pistons, he rep his Lions, no doubt. I can attest to that.
No bandwagon here, man. Like, so whenever my team do good, no one can come look at me and be like, well, dang, B, now you repping now? They're going to be like, well, no, B, you been repping. Like, you was repping when y'all was sucking, so you get my props. So, yeah, I still rep my squads, man. I got my D-fitters, my jerseys, everything, man. So I'm good. I'm good over here.
That's what's up, man. No, you absolutely right, man. Detroit is always, I've never been, but every time that I can at least tell on TV or just kind of reading about the city and culture, like, it's always been one of those cities that like always seems like it's very passionate about sports or whatever. Like, it's not the same in every city. And people don't understand it. Like, it's not the same in every city. Like, there's just certain cities that just don't have that same passion. Atlanta, notoriously, is a city that, for a lot of time, a lot of people have said it, like, they don't have the passion. I mean, here, it obviously when teams are, everybody has always said this, Atlanta is a very front when it comes to sports, when it comes to pro sports. Of course, they love Georgia football. They love their Georgia Techs or whatever. But it comes to pro sports, like the Falcons, like people have always said, they didn't give a shit about the Falcons until Michael Vick got there. They didn't give a damn about the Hawks are just, I mean, forget about it. The Hawks are, I mean, they had a little bit of run with Dominique in the 80s or whatever. But outside of that, the Falcons or the Hawks are basically irrelevant. You know, they're trying to do something now with trades, with Trey or whatever, but we'll see. We'll see. But the Hawks keep calling Falcons.
You know what I think it is? You know what I think it is? I think with Atlanta sports, you have so many transplants here. It's kind of
that's
people
definitely what it is.
Like myself, I'm still loyal to my Detroit. You know, I've talked to people that's from Chicago. They're still loyal to their Chicago team. You know, people that's from Houston, they're still loyal to their Houston team. So it's like you got a lot of transplants. Now, don't get me wrong. I've come across and met a lot of like ATL born and raised. And, you know, the ones that I've met, they rep their squad. They rep the Falcons. They've been repping the Falcons. They can name these Falcon players from the 90s, you know, before Deion Sanders was there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I know the real ones. And same thing goes for Hawks and the Braves. Like, it's a few that I meet that are like, yes, I rep ATL teams. But I think the issue with Atlanta is just like you got so many transplants here, like so many. So I think that's why.
Yeah.
That's my reason thinking that why, you know, Atlanta.
Well, you live there. I mean, so you would know better than I do. I've always had that. Yeah. I've always had that perception of Atlanta, and it's always been kind of validated with the people that I talk to. Like, yeah, like Atlanta. I mean, I remember seeing, like, I was as a Met fan. I remember like Braves games that wouldn't even sell out in the playoffs. Like, that was crazy to me. Like, Braves games that wouldn't sell out. Like, and this is when they were winning 15 straight division titles. Like, and they wouldn't sell out playoff games? Like, what, bro? Like, we would throw a parade for the fucking Mets if they made it to the playoffs 15 straight years. Like this shit is like, I'm sure the same thing in Detroit. Like, if the damn Tigers made it to the won a division 15 straight years, like,
we'll be partying like crazy.
Exactly. And then it's like in Atlanta, they not even selling out like first round games. Like, what? Like, what is this? Like, so that's always been my little dig at Atlanta or whatever. And that's always been, but you live there. So I can see the transplant thing being a thing. Like, when you just have so many people, half your population is people from other places. Yeah, I could definitely see that and how it affects the quote unquote passion of sports fans. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, man, it does. It kind of messes with the passion of it, and I mean, I get it. I mean, I get it because, like I said, I talk to, and I meet so many people that's from other cities, and they so loyal to their cities that they're from, just like myself. I get it, you know, because only time you see me go to a Hawks game, or only time I went to a Braves game is when the Tigers was in town. Even before the hockey team left here, when the Atlanta Thrashers, I used to go to a Thrasher game. Only when the Red Wings was in town. Like, it was like I only go and go.
Because it feels weird when you go. Because it feels weird when you just go to, like, oh, let me go watch the Braves and the Mets. Like, I don't have any rooting interest for neither one of these teams. I mean, I'm just going. Right, I mean, you can go for the time, for the experience, I guess, and just to have a good time and something to do. Like, I've done that. Like, I've gone to Mariners games, like, when they've played the Astros. Like, oh, okay. Like, I want to watch a good team and I like baseball. So it's like,
right.
But it's not the same when it's your team. Like, when it's your team playing and they come into town, it's not the same thing. Yeah, it's definitely it's a different vibe.
It is.
Yeah, so,
it is.
No, I get it. So moved out of Detroit at 22 to Atlanta. What was the biggest culture shock? Like, what was the biggest thing that you had to get used to?
Well, for one, when I moved down here, summer was just starting. So the weather, the summer here was definitely a culture shock because, in Detroit, a typical summer day, anywhere between 77 to like 82 degrees. That was like an average summer day in Detroit. So, I'm used to like being outside, being outdoors, always doing stuff. But here, man, it was so hot. You didn't want to step outside until like about 7:30, 8 o'clock when the sun getting ready to go down because it was just extremely hot. Another thing, the women to guy ratio. It's so many women down here. Like when I first moved down here, I was like, oh my God. Like here I am.
I can imagine.
I'm 22. Yeah, I'm like 22 years old. Like I had literally just got out of a relationship. I was in Detroit. I'm in a new city. I'm like, man. But I mean, I guess another, I give you one. A culture shock was the traffic. Traffic, I did not know the true meaning.
Yeah, elaborate on that more because I've heard that. Like the traffic in Atlanta is terrible. Like explain that to me. Like I don't like.
Man, like Detroit, we had it made. Being in rush hour in Detroit was like a typical 20 minutes. That was considered a lot. Here in Atlanta, depending on where you live and where you're working at, you can be in traffic for almost sometimes 2 hours. Just trying to travel 30 or 40 miles somewhere, it would take you 2 hours to get there. And I think
why is that though? Like why? Go ahead, my bad.
This is. Oh no, you good. This is why I think that traffic is so bad. For one, the city has grown so much as far as the population. A lot of people, the number of people that's moved here, has grown a lot. But another number one thing, they haven't done much with the infrastructure. So like you can't build all these houses, all these subdivisions, and not expand these 2-lane roads. Like you still got these 2-lane roads.
Wow.
You still, you're not expanding or adding lanes to interstate, and you building all these townhouses, you building all these houses, all these apartment complexes, all these high rises. You're adding all this stuff because the population has grown so much since I moved here, but you're not doing nothing with the infrastructure. And I think if they start really putting money in and spending money on this infrastructure, I think traffic can be better. But until then, traffic is going to always be horrible here, man. Traffic is so bad because they have not improved the infrastructure here that much. So there you go. That's my opinion just from my 15 years of living here. They have not improved the infrastructure here in Atlanta, man. So that's why traffic is so horrible.
Because I heard, like, I've only been to Atlanta once and I didn't drive, and I guess I went in the right weekend because it wasn't too crazy or whatever. So I didn't get to experience that, but I've heard that from everybody. Like, the traffic in Atlanta is just awful. And like a lot of people tell me that, like, it's awful. And it's like, I mean, in New York, traffic is bad, but it's also like, 11 million people that live in New York. So it's like, you gotta understand. And plus New York, you also get the advantage of our public transportation is just like the best in the world. So there's that also. LA, I mean, you got 8 million people living in LA. So it's just different. And LA is so spread out. So it's just like, it's different. But I mean, it really made sense to me. But now that you've explained that to me, that you live there and you explained that to me, like, yeah, it makes sense that why the traffic is so crazy.
Yeah,
I heard that.
like I said, Atlanta is becoming the South Hollywood. So it's like more and more people moving here, living here. The properties are cheaper and stuff like that. So it's just like more people coming here. They're like, okay, yeah, cool and fine. That's great and all. But do something with these damn roads. Do something with the infrastructure because you can't.
And you would think that's the first thing they think about, right? Like you would think that's the first thing they would think about. Like, okay, let's add more lanes to these fucking highways so that we don't have like people in traffic for 80 hours. Like, no.
Yeah, man, it's horrible. So yeah, that's why traffic is bad here, man. It's just like, gee, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It's moments where it's like, okay, cool, traffic's good, but when you start getting that during the week rush hour traffic, oh my God, it's horrible, man. It's so horrible.
Yeah, no, I know. I live in this.
You can listen. I listen to a whole album on my way to work sometimes, depending on how traffic is. But like, yeah, it's been times.
Bro, that's why.
Nothing for me to listen. listen to an album on the way to
That's
work.
why I don't. That's why I don't commute to work, bro. I work 20 minutes from my house, bro. And my wife used to have to do that commute and shit. I can't do it, bro, because I already got road rage as is. And then if I get on a highway, and it's just, you know how it is. It's bound to happen. People just doing dumb shit on the road, and it's just like, yeah, nah, I can't do it, man. I really, really can't do it. So I remember when this shit came on the news one day, like, you know, they were doing the top 10 worst traffics in the nation. So obviously LA was number one. Yeah, that's like, it's not even.
See that. I can
you could have just guessed that one. Yeah.
Yep.
2 was New York. This one surprised me. Hawaii was 3rd. And that shocked me. I was like,
DC?
Hawaii. But then I work with somebody from, no, not DC, Hawaii, actually.
DC should have been 3rd. DC should have been 3rd. Shit.
Really?
Should have been 3rd.
I asked them, and I was like, they said Hawaii is one of the worst traffic in the country, according to this, like, whatever, right? And they were like, oh, well, you gotta understand, like, it's basically it's like a group of islands, and there's only one way in, one way out of these motherfuckers. Like, so these islands weren't designed for, like, you know, regular city like life. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think about it, like, when you're going from one island to the next, like, this shit is crazy. Like, it's like, so I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, I never thought of it like that. Like, oh, okay. And then the 4th was Atlanta. And then 5th was Seattle, where I live. Bruh, out here, it's just horrible. Like, it's fucking horrible, bro.
I'm surprised DC is not on there. Why I'm so surprised DC is not on there?
DC was on the list. It just wasn't in, like, the top 5. I think DC was like 7 or 8 or whatever. It wasn't on the list or whatever.
DC
but
should have been
like, it was
3rd. After New York and LA, DC should have been 3rd.
Really, I've driven I-95 through DC and Baltimore, and it's rough. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah,
I agree with you, but I don't know what they were doing I think they were going off of, like, number of people, number of drivers on average, and the number of wait times or whatever for traffic. Yeah, they put some equation into it. I'm like, it seemed legit. Like, it seemed legit because DC was on the list, Philly was on the list. Phoenix was on the list. Like, they have most major cities that you would think, like, okay, they would have a traffic issue. Yeah. So, but the Atlanta thing, I heard that from a lot of people. The traffic in Atlanta is terrible, and I was just like, wow, really? Like, I never would have thought that. I never would have thought.
Yeah, it's
so
terrible, man.
So you moved to Atlanta. Yeah, true. So you moved to Atlanta, 22 years old, women everywhere, weather crazy, a crazy culture shock. Like, did you ever think that you would be in Atlanta this long? Did you ever think that, like, 15 years, did you eventually think that you would go back to Detroit, or did you just thought you knew as soon as you got to Atlanta,
I mean, I knew, I didn't know if I was going to still be in Atlanta as long as I have, but I knew I wasn't moving back to Detroit. I knew I wasn't going back to Detroit. I mean, you know, the only thing I was missing was, like, you know, my peeps, my best friends and stuff like that. But I mean, I knew I wasn't going back to Detroit unless the opportunity came across me that I just couldn't pass up. But for the most part, I knew I wasn't moving back to Detroit. And I was, if anything, I thought I was gonna probably move to, like, another city in the South somewhere or whatever. But, like, yeah, I didn't know I was gonna be in Atlanta this long. But I mean, I'm not mad. I mean, I like it here, man. I mean, you know, I'm comfortable. I like living down here. It's dope, man. The weather is not, like, you know, besides the hot extreme summers, the weather is not too crazy here. I mean, you know, it ain't like nothing where, you know, we gotta be dealing with some crap or anything like that. So, I mean, it's cool, man. I like it. A lot of black folks. I like to see a lot of black folks doing their thing down here too, man. That's one thing I do like. Yeah,
that's the one thing about Atlanta. A lot of opportunity for us. Yeah, a lot of opportunity for us, man. So that's what's dope. That's what's dope about that. I love that. An American middle class too. Like, that was the thing that, like, because you don't see that in a lot of cities. Like, that's the one thing about Atlanta that's really dope. Yeah.
Yeah,
you got a lot of black businesses, a lot of people involved in the community that are African American. Like, that's dope. That's really dope. Yeah, so I can see that. I could definitely see that. So how did you meet up? I know I know the story from Ken's perspective or whatever, but how did you end up linking up with Ken and Kyle and everybody from? Yeah. So Rod, me and Rod, when I first moved down, the building I was working at. I worked with Rod. So, Rod was like one of the first. I mean, I wasn't even living here for barely a year at the time. So, you know, of course, you know, you move a city. I'm so used to being around all my best friends that I grew up with.
from Yay High, you know. So of course, moving in the whole city, I'm like, man, I got to meet a whole group of people, or like, you know, you know, it's different trying to meet people as an adult opposed to when you were 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
and this is before social media too, people. This is before, and this is before Facebook media. And MySpace and all that.
Right. So you know, I met Rod, you know, just find out, you know, we was kind of like liking the same stuff. We both was tourists. Like, oh, yeah, we go tourists too, man. Oh, cool. Like, we found out, you know, we like the same type of music and, you know, sports. We into sports and shit. And then I found out he hooped. So when he told me he hooped, I was like, yeah, I ball too. He was like, you ball? I was like, yeah. He said, okay. So me and him linked up and we started hooping together. So then Rod ended up getting transferred to a different building downtown Atlanta. And because where we was working at before was in Buckhead, Atlanta. So he had got transferred to downtown Atlanta. I was still in the Buckhead location. So then when he went to the downtown location, that's where he met Ken, FIFO, and Mike. So, but FIFO also hooped. So then that's how I met FIFO was, you know, Rod was like, yo, I got this other dude at my building I work at. He said he balled too. He said he can hoop or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. Bring him too or whatever. So, you know, FIFO would come. So that's how I met FIFO. And then, you know, come to find out, you know, he likes sports. He's in we talk about, we actually was having a lot of sports debates amongst each other way before we started having hip hop debates. But, so then that's when Ken was still kind of like on the last leg of hooping. Ken was still hoop with us a little bit, but he wasn't hooping as much. Wasn't hooping as much. Yeah, like he'd come every once in a while where like me, Rod, and FIFO, we was at it like every week. Like every week we was out there hooping. But Ken would come out every once in a while and play with us or whatever. But he was kind of like on the end of his leg where he was like, yeah, I'm done playing basketball. But so then, of course, out there hooping, of course, besides the sports debates, we started getting in the hip hop debate. And you know, then the hip hop debate started out in the court, and it ended into the emails, and then the email trails kept going, and you know, and then it struck an idea with Ken where someone was like, "Oh man, here comes another dead end conversation," and it sparked up for that. I remember when Rod came to me and was like, "Yo, B, thinking about doing a YouTube thing, you know, what you think?" Da-da-da. So of course I'm like, "Man, ain't nobody gonna watch us." I'm like, "Who gonna watch some 5 random dudes?" Well, at the time, 4 random dudes, because Mike wasn't even on board at that point. Mike was still, you know, finishing up school and doing other stuff or whatever. And Mike kind of had the same sentiment as me. Like, he was just kind of like, man, ain't nobody gonna watch us. Like, what the hell? Like, I was like, yeah, man, ain't nobody gonna watch those 5 regular dudes. So, you know, Rod kept insisting me to do it. Like, man, I'm telling you, B, man, it's gonna work. Like, you know, ain't nobody doing this, man. Ain't nobody doing what we doing. Like, this shit gonna work so good, man. Like, we already got the format and all that stuff down and all that. I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it. So, and we look, 10 years later, and it's like, you know, almost 10 years later, and look at this. I would have never guessed. And it's funny because Rod always joked, like, every time we hit like a milestone or if something big happened, like, you know, we got shot out from Kendrick Lamar or something like that, Rod would be like, CB, I told you. He always look at me and be like, see, I told you. I'm like, yeah, shut up.
Right.
Yeah, because
that's amazing, man.
I mean, like, man, I used to just be like, man, ain't nobody gonna watch us. What were you saying? My bad.
No, I was just saying, like, it's amazing. I'm giving y'all props, man. 10 years almost, man. That's crazy, man. Like, have you stopped to actually think about it? Like, yo, all the things that y'all have done, everything that y'all have accomplished, and it's still accomplishing, like just getting started. I mean, like, have you had a chance to actually like sit back for a moment and actually like just take that shit in, like soak it up a little bit?
A little bit. I mean, I guess going into this, getting ready to enter a new decade, I was just thinking like this entire decade, and I'm like, damn, we started dating hip hop. Like, you know, we was talking about it in 2010, but it came in fruition in 2011. So that's why I say it's kind of like 10 years, but like we officially made our debut in 2011, but we was talking about it and doing it in 2010. So, but yeah, I mean, looking back, it's like, man, I mean, you know, looking back how we started, you know, Ryan had a freaking, like a Toshiba handheld camera, and he was using free video software on Windows. You know, now we got, you know, using MacBook Pros and stuff, and we got Adobe Premiere, and we got these Canon and Nikon cameras, and, you know, we went from
got your own studio, like your own studio.
Right. I was going to say, we went from filming in random locations. We went from filming random locations in Atlanta to like now we have our own production studio now, like where we record stuff, and Like, yeah, man, yeah. I was definitely looking back, like, damn, we've done a lot. We've accomplished a lot, man. It's crazy, and just all the other stuff that we expanded out to. You know what I'm saying? Like just doing all the other shows and podcasts and everything that's coming together, man. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Yeah, it's so crazy, man.
Yeah, man. Don't miss an opportunity to soak that shit in, man. That's amazing, bro. That's inspiring. So anybody out there that's listening, that's doing a YouTube video and doing a pod, like whatever, man, you could do it. I mean, look, I'm telling you, this is the story right here. I'm doing a podcast. I'm on their platform. And these guys have been doing it for almost 10 years. So that's salute, bro, for real. That ass. I don't say that as much, but man, that's salute, man, because that's crazy. And everybody that's listening, man, I mean, this is an inspiration right here. Like y'all could do that shit, whatever. And they did this at a time where the shit was just starting to get popped off. Like YouTube was just starting to become what YouTube is now. Like, you know what I'm saying? And podcasting and doing YouTube videos, you know what I'm saying? Back in, 2010, 2011, like people were doing it, but like it wasn't to this degree now where almost every week somebody's starting a YouTube page and a YouTube channel or whatever. So, yeah, man, that's salute to y'all, man. Salute for real. Y'all don't know how many people y'all have inspired to do this shit. So for real, man, definitely got to talk about that because that definitely needs to be highlighted and applauded because that's cool. So yeah, I remember when I first found y'all, like it was so random. I think I told Ken this story. Like I think I found y'all like one night after the club. Me and my boy were looking for like music videos or whatever, and I don't even know. Like long story short, like I don't even know how we landed on y'all. Like I think we were watching a video. I think I fell asleep. And like I woke up in the middle of the night and like shit was just, you know how YouTube just kind of keep playing videos after a while. And I'm just like, and then I'm just like, and then it just like, so I woke up, I'm like messing around on my computer or whatever. And like y'all, it was one of those videos, random location. And y'all was talking, I can't even remember the album that y'all was reviewing or whatever. And y'all was talking, I was like, oh, okay. Like I'm just like, who the fuck are these niggas? Like, so I'm just watching the video, like halfway paying attention to it, halfway on halfway paying attention to it, halfway on MySpace. And then y'all like saying some shit that I agree with. And I'm like, oh, okay, okay. So I'm like, okay, I like the video. These guys have something to say. So I just, hit subscribe and then think nothing of it. And then of course you click on it, like you go on YouTube like another day and, the feed, Dada and hip hop or whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then just from there, like, Dada and hip hop right there. Like just it's amazing how sometimes you just find people or find things to watch on YouTube and you just it builds from there. But
damn, that's crazy. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think I told this story to Ken. I don't know if I have or not, but yeah, man, it was one night after the club. Like I think we was looking for the remember when they was doing those videos when they was mocking like Gucci Man and OJ the Juice Man and Waka Flocka Flame. It was like a cartoon video. Yep. We were watching that shit because we was coming home from the club drunk and we was just laughing at that shit. And I think y'all, one of y'all videos played like 2 videos after the fact, after that shit. And yeah, from there it was just on. So yeah, man. That hip hop, almost 10 years old.
You know what's crazy? Is that, like now we talk, we have like longtime fans that be like, yeah, I was listening to y'all when I was a sophomore in high school and now I'm graduating college and, about to start a family pretty soon. And we be like, damn, what? So yeah, it'd be crazy when the fans be like,
bro,
me in high school. Yeah.
Bro, me, I was 20, 24, 25-ish. You know what I'm saying? In the army still, out here, like single, living in the barracks, like doing dumb shit, you know what I'm saying? Going out clubbing or whatever. And now 3 kids, a wife, house, cars, all like it's crazy like how in 9 years, just that, like it's amazing, man. It's dope, man. For real though, man. Y'all should applaud yourselves, man. Like for real, this like y'all have done some major shit, bro. Like for real. And I think y'all should give yourselves more time to reflect and take and soak that shit in for real.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will. I keep mentioning to Ken that we should plan like a, like just some like celebration, like plan a dope ass cabin trip or something like that, or just something that
y'all should like absolutely, man.
Think it in and just celebrate it and just kind of like, yeah, we like, damn, we
do a special, a live special, like a 10-year anniversary thing, yeah. That's dope, man. For real.
Yeah, we have to do something like that, man. Because that is crazy. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And like I said, anybody who's listening out there, man, that's doubting starting a YouTube page or whatever it is that you're trying to do, man. Take these guys as an example. These dudes, I when he says they were doing random videos and random locations for folks that haven't been following that in, like literally, like random locations, it actually became like a charm to the videos. Like, where the hell? Like, you were trying to figure out, like, where the hell are they at? Like, it's just random. Like, it's so
quick,
dope, man, to see where they are.
Like, real quick, just to get, I mean, I threw this out there to Ken. I threw this out there to the fellas, though. Actually, I would like for us to do that. I would like for us one day, just not shoot at the studio, just shoot at our, one of our random locations that we used to shoot at, like just outside. I think our people would that would be cool. Love that. Yeah, that would be dope. Like, that would be dope. I remember I used to film there. Like, because we used to go to Georgia Tech sometimes. Yeah, we used to go to Georgia Tech and shoot there sometimes. Yeah, we used to go to Georgia Tech. I mean, we used to go to so many different areas, man. Like, all right, let's film here. Okay, bet, let's film here. So I threw that out there, man. I think we should film it.
What was that random park that y'all always used to film at? It always looked like y'all was in like this random park that y'all always would film at.
Central Park.
Okay, yeah.
Central Park. Okay. Yeah. Yep, we can film there. I mean, I think we film at one of our classic locations. I think folks will love that. I think folks will.
That would be dope.
Our team,
they would
be like, oh shit, yeah. Like do it like our year end, or if it's another like a major mainstream artist come out with an album, like shoot a review out there. Like I think that'd be dope.
Yeah, one time a year, like y'all could do that, like to commemorate or whatever. Like that'd be cool. Mm-hmm. Like that would be really dope for real. Y'all did that, man, for real. So. Yeah, man. Just to again, I'm gonna keep saying it. I can't say it enough, man. Y'all should applaud yourselves for all that y'all have accomplished, and I know I'm saying it like past tense that are still going, fellas. Like just this year, the studio, the podcast network is getting bigger, which I'm a part of, and I mean everything that these guys are doing, man. Think about it, from shooting random videos in a freaking park with 18 people maybe watching it to now this. So. Yeah, it can be done, man. It can be done. So applaud yourselves, fellas, for real. Like shout out to Ken, FIFO, Mike, everybody, and Dada, and everybody behind the scenes, everybody, just everybody, man. Shout out to everybody, for real.
Dang, appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. Y'all definitely been an inspiration for me. So, so anytime I get a chance to salute y'all and to give y'all just do, man, for real. Like it's nothing. It's nothing, for real.
Man.
Let's get into sports, man. Let's get into sports.
All right.
Huge basketball fan. The season's a month old now. Anything that's really surprised you in the first month of the season? Anything that's kind of like caught your attention positively, negatively? I guess give me one of each, I guess.
Positively, I didn't think Luka was going to take this much of a leap forward just from year one to year two. Dude is out there playing like the game is coming easy for him. That's insane. That's freaking insane right now. The way he's playing and the way they kind of like I think they got like a winning record right now. Like Dallas, it's not like they're doing this in a losing effort. It's not like they want to.
It's translating into wins. It's translating into wins. Yeah.
Yeah. So that I'm always a fan of that. If you can ball out and still translate into wins. Another positive thing. I didn't think Houston would be coming out the gate balling like the way they are either. I think that's another one that kind of caught me a little bit by surprise. Not saying that they was going to be whack or anything, but like they coming out swinging right now, man. They looking like a team. They look like they're going to be one of the Western Conference teams to be a force. I don't know how far they're going to go, but I just didn't think Westbrook and Harden was going to come in taking off like this. I thought we was going to start seeing them get into a stride by the end of January, going into February. Or whatever, but Houston Rockets looking good. I think negative, I would say, is load management. I think this whole load management thing, I think is definitely kind of putting a little bit of a black eye on in the NBA. And just even though yes, we've seen Greg Pop do it before, but like to see like players, and my thing is this. I don't mind load management only if you're nursing an injury. But if you're 100% healthy if nothing's wrong with you and you're going to take a night off just because so you want to play back-to-back games, fuck that up and play the damn games. Like, that's my issue when it comes to load management. Like I said, if you got a knee, you kind of, slowly getting back in, or, you got, some ankle or shoulder or thigh that's been messing with you or something, and you kind of slowly going back in. Okay, yeah, take a night off and then come back the next game. But if you're 100% healthy like I am, and you taking nights off, that's my only issue with load management. Like, it's just like, really? Like, you really got to take a night off because you don't feel like playing Wednesday and Thursday? Like, seriously? So that's one thing I guess that's a negative I would say about the NBA is, like, now we're really starting to pay attention more to load management, and players is starting to kind of take advantage of this load, quote unquote, load management. I don't like this. Like, you get paid millions of dollars to play the game. You knew when you signed that contract, you was gonna be in for 82 games, a scheduled game. So you got to play that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're severely injured, you have to play these games. That's what you're getting paid for. So that's my issue with the NBA as far as the negative load management. I'm sick of seeing that. I'm sick of players taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I couldn't have said it better myself. The load management thing is a serious. I mean, we've talked about this many times offline, so you know where I stand on it. Yeah, so I mean, it's a problem, man. I think it's a huge. I honestly think it's a bigger problem than I think even people are making it out. Like, I think it's a huge problem. I really, really do. I think it's a black eye on the NBA, man. I know some of the fellas in the chat disagree. And have different opinions on it, but I think it's a black eye on the league, man. Like, people don't understand, like, part of being in these sports leagues and running these sports leagues and being an athlete, there's an aura of entertainment. Like, you're in the entertainment business. Like, you do have a paying consumer that you have to think about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just a situation where, like, oh, I'm just playing basketball. I don't give a fuck who come to the games. Because if that's your mentality, then you wouldn't be making $50 million a year. Like, exactly. And I hate to be like, the fan, the number one gripe fans. Oh, well, we pay your salary. But to an extent, they do. Like, to an extent, ticket sales, like revenue, buying jerseys, T-shirts, going to the concession stands. Like, that all goes into a pot. You know what I'm saying? That in part pays your salary. You know what I'm saying? And it's like people don't understand this. They don't understand this. Like, there is a business aspect to this that you have to take into account. You know what I'm saying? Like, for those who hear that loud buzz, I'm literally recording next to a damn water fountain that decided to just come on as we're talking. So just if you hear that loud buzz
I don't hear
in the background,
I don't hear it though. But it's all good.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. No, but it's just really annoying and irritating because, like, and I know what you said that bothers you if you're nursing an injury, and I agree with that. But what bothers me is, bro, some of these teams have played 15 games at most, 15.
Right.
Maybe 15, 16 games. Like, Kawhi Leonard was resting after 7 games.
Right,
like, bro,
man. I'm like, dude,
bro,
that's
like,
crazy.
it's ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't know Kawhi's body. I don't know what he's going through. But if he's not going through nothing, I call that utterly bullshit. I call it bullshit. If he's not suffering anything, that's BS for him to take nights off already. With, like you said, within 7 games of the freaking season. 7 games in. That's barely a week and a half. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, yeah, man, unless something is if something really is wrong with Kawhi or whatever, like if his knee is not feeling the way it should be or whatever, thigh, whatever. Like, okay, I give you a little pass. There's only so much I got to give you, man. Like, you got to go out there and fight because, you know what? Everybody is banged up at some point. There's people that still go out there and play.
Everybody's banged up. Everybody's banged up.
Yeah, everybody's banged up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still got to go out there and fight. You know how many games Ivo played with messed up wrists and he was banged up like crazy, but he still go out there and gave it 150%. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't know, man.
It's an insult to the paying customer, man. It's an insult, and I've had this rant on the show before. Like, yo, imagine being, these NBA games are not cheap either. Like, that's what people don't understand too. Like, they're not cheap at all.
So, like, you
people just act like these
sections. Imagine you in the 100 section And you don't get that Kawhi versus LeBron matchup because Kawhi won't take load management.
I think that you're a father of three, right? Three boys or whatever. You want to take them to a Laker game, or all right, we'll use Kawhi as an example. You want to take them to a Clipper game, right? These tickets are not cheap. Like, have you tried to go to a Laker or even a Clippers game? Like, these tickets are not cheap. Like, you go out and you buy, let's say, 2 tickets, right? That's going to cost you anywhere from like $150 to $200, depending on what seats you get. Let's say you're feeling really, really giving today as a dad, and you're gonna get yourself and your son 2 good seats, right? You know what I'm saying? That's gonna run you $300. Let's just go with that, right? It's gonna run you about $300, $100 something dollars a piece, right? $250, $300, right? Anywhere from that range,
right?
Then you got to get yourself outfitted for the game, so you're gonna buy your son some gear, a jersey, a shirt, whatever. That's gonna be another $100. So that's now you're at $400. Now you in route to the game, traffic, gas, all these things that go in with commuting and getting to these arenas sometimes, paying for parking. That's what, maybe another $60, $70 right there. Then when you get to the arena, concessions, food, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's another $40. Like, now we're looking at $500, $600 on doing this. I know I'm being a little extreme here, but like, not by much. Now,
you're not far off. You're not far off by that, man. You're definitely not far off. And now you can't see LeBron versus Kawhi because of the load management.
Yeah, and what the detractors will say is, oh, well, it's 2019. You can find out who's playing, hours before the game, or you can do that. You can look at the schedule and see, like, why should fans have to do that? Why should fans have to pull out a schedule? You know what I'm saying? Break it down like you breaking down film for the NFL. Like, okay, well, they played, the last game they had was on the 21st, and now their next game is on the 27th, and then on the 28th, they have a back-to-back. So, okay, so I ain't going to play that game. So I ain't probably going to go to that game, but I'm going to go to the one on the 30th. Oh, but, he playing the Thunder, so he might sit that game out. So, all right, I'm going to go to the game on the 2nd of December, because that's a big game. That's a TNT one. So he probably play that game. All right, so I'm going to go to that game. Oh, but, damn, that's against the Kings. That don't really mean nothing. What's their next big game? Oh, the Spurs on the 15th. Why should a fan have to do that? Explain that.
You're right.
Why should a fan have to do that?
Let me throw you another scenario out there. Say you just happen to be in the city, traveling somewhere, and you just happen to be in the city, and you be like, oh man, I'm in Chicago. Whatchamacallit playing? Let me go check them out and see. Oh, can't see them. Guess why? Because they're on load management. Damn, I'm out of town. I'm in another city. I'm at this arena for the first time, and you tell me I can't see this team because of load management? Like, I don't like that, man. That's another. You can factor in a traveling aspect of it. If someone traveling from another city to see a player that they like, but that player don't want to play because of load management. So, yeah, man.
I don't have
I hate it.
I don't have a problem with the concept of load management. If you're telling me, We'll use the Clippers as an example, right? Because it's the popular opinion. They are the ones that are making this load management shit even worse, in my opinion. But if we take the Clippers for example, let's say they're 55-10 sometime in March or whatever, and you've already got the number 1 or at least number 2 seeds clinched or whatever, or at least you have a good idea that you're going to be a number 1 or number 2, right? Like, and you want to rest Kawhi a random night, March 22nd against the Kings, in a game that doesn't really mean anything. Like, okay, I don't love it. I don't like it, but I understand it. I understand the concept. We're trying to get Kawhi ready for the playoffs. We're trying to give him a blow. All right, load management. You know what I'm saying? You're the Warriors, a healthy Warriors team, and you want to give Steph a night off, and they're 60-2. You know what I'm saying? And you want to give him a night off. Okay, I can see that. But in November 10th, you're taking a night off? Like, what?
I know, man. That's crazy. That is so crazy.
And again,
let me ask you this.
It's young players doing this. Young players. Like, dog, I gave this example a couple weeks ago when I had my man Justin on the show, right? I'll never forget. I don't know why this example always sticks in my craw, right? Like, I was in the car one day, right? This was years ago, a couple years ago. This was when DeMarcus Cousins was on the Kings, right? So I'm in the radio. You know how they doing the rundown, the scores, and the games tonight or whatever. And they get on the Kings game, and DeMarcus Cousins is expected to miss tonight's game with quote unquote rest. That's all they said, right? Rest. This was like November 10th of that year. The season had just started like 2-3 weeks ago, and DeMarcus Cousins, who at the time had to be like 26, was taking rest. I literally was outraged, bro. Like, I was like, yo, first of all, it's DeMarcus Cousins on the motherfucking Kings. What the fuck is you resting for? You ain't going to the playoffs. Right. What are you resting?
Right.
Like, explain that to me.
Number two, you're 27 years old. You need to play. Right.
And yeah, exactly. You need to play those games. And it's like you're 26 in your prime. You're entering your athletic prime. Like what? Like seriously? 2 weeks into the season, you got to rest? Like I always use that example.
It's not like you Tim Duncan's age. It's not like you Tim Duncan, 37, 38. All right, yeah, Duncan, you know what? You paid your dues. Take a night off. Like, go ahead, brother. You gave us 5 championships.
And that's the other thing, because people always bring up, oh, well, the Spurs did it. The Spurs did it first. First of all, I didn't like it when the Spurs did it, but the Spurs were strategic with it. First of all, the Spurs did it. The Spurs did it because Popovich, people don't know this, but Popovich and Stern do not get along. They never liked each other. And Popovich always hated, he was specifically mad about this one time where they put him, I think Popovich had like 3 straight games one week, right? And on the final game of that road trip, or the final game of that 3-game set or whatever, they put him on a nationally televised game in Miami. So he went one night. He was in the details of shit. It was years ago, but y'all remember that game? It was that infamous Thursday night game where he sat damn near half his damn starting 5.
Yeah,
I think he sat all of his starting 5 against Miami. Against
Manu. Parker, none of them played.
Yeah, none of them played. And he did that shit because it was like, yo, y'all fucking me over right now. Like, y'all, I just got done with a long-ass road trip. Y'all playing me in a nationally televised game. Y'all having me travel to Miami to play this game. Like, I'm not playing my dudes. My dudes have played. They're 32, 34 years old. Like, they need to rest, right? So that's why he did that. And then it became a situation where he was trying to get guys rested. He had a veteran-laden guys that, those Spurs team, they had played – I mean, almost seasons worth of playoff games. So it became a strategic.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, they did their time. You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't. I mean, Tim Duncan wasn't super young. He wasn't 25, 26 years old young when they was doing this. I mean, Duncan was starting to get up there.
He was on his last life.
Yeah. So
he was like Ken out there when y'all was balling back in the day.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, that situation, I get it. And let me ask you this. Do you think if players do sit, would you rather them to sit on the road games or a home game?
I mean, even the road games is bad. Because, I mean, think about it. If you're a fan of the Pistons, right? If you're a kid, if you're a young Beezy, right? Sitting in Detroit, right? And Larry Bird coming into town, Larry's just going to sit because he just don't feel like playing this game tonight. Like, you would feel some type of way. Like, damn, Pistons Celtics. Like, it's a rivalry. Like, I want to see Larry Bird. I never seen Larry Bird play. Like, and Larry Bird is taking the night off because he just, like, not because of his back, which was, like, a real injury he dealt with for years and years and years. No, he's taking the night off because, they're 65-10. And, Casey Jones was like, right. Larry, you're just going to sit this one out low management. Like, what? Like, you would feel some type of way as a young.
Right. I think road games, I don't think they should sit. Superstars should like rest. Home games, I can kind of see that because you can always get a chance to see your hometown team or whatever. Like I can always go to when the Pistons are playing, I can always go see Isaiah. But like as long as like Bird and Magic and them was playing, I was happy. I don't think superstars, if they do take a night off, I don't think it should be a road game night off because you got people that want to see these players that live in that city.
Exactly.
So if they do it, I would prefer them to do it when they're at home. So, like, if they got like a 3-4 game stretch at home, and LeBron decides to take a night off whatever. Okay, fine. You at home, but don't take the night off on the road when you can possibly someone from another city that's a fan of you that want to see you. So I think you shouldn't take the road games off.
And here's the other thing, right? Like I don't really think there should be load management before the All-Star break. Like at least until you want to tell me March 25th, there's 3 weeks left in the season. You want to start doing some load management? The big teams want to start doing some load management. Okay, I don't like it, but I can understand it. I see it.
I can understand it for strategic purposes.
You're taking games off in December? Like what? What? Like,
Man,
what is this?
November. They're taking games off in November, man. That's what tripped me out. November, dude.
November. Like, come on. That's an insult, man. That's an insult. And what these dudes don't understand, if you're a superstar player, like a true superstar player, the LeBrons, the Giannis's, the Hardens, the Westbrooks, the handful of guys that we can actually say are superstars that people pay to go see, right? Like, you have a responsibility to the paying customer, to the league, to be a standard bearer for the league. You have a responsibility. I believe in that. And that goes in any sport. You're a star quarterback. Like, you have a responsibility to show up and play at your best each and every night, game, week, etc. Like, you have a responsibility for that. I really believe that. Like, I'm not trying to be holier than thou. Like, I really believe that. Like, if you LeBron, like, there's a reason why you get paid $40 million a year. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason. James Harden, there's a reason. You know what I'm saying? You got to play. You got to show up. And it just looks bad when guys are just saying, like, I won't show up. Or hey, coach, I got a little sprain that I could play. Like, if this was a playoff game, I could play through it. But it's the Kings. I ain't trying to fuck my shoulder up. So I ain't gonna sit like that. To me, that's just that's a bad look for the sport, man. That's a bad look for the sport. And you don't see this shit in other sports. That's the other thing.
Nope.
You don't see this in other sports. Can you imagine if Tom Brady decided, hey, I'm 42 years old, I ain't playing against the fucking Bengals.
I ain't playing this week.
Like,
I'm gonna sit out.
I'm gonna sit out. Like, can you imagine that shit?
Can you imagine Aaron Rodgers? Can you imagine Aaron Rodgers just being like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take a night off. I ain't gonna play this week. Go ahead and let my backup go.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
In baseball, you don't even see this shit in baseball. Baseball has double the games. Double. Right. You don't even see this shit in baseball. Can you imagine Mike Trout one day, like the season in baseball? The season starts in April. Can you imagine 2 weeks into April, like April 20th? Mike Trout tells
Mike Trout, right?
Joe Madden, hey Joe, man, it's the getaway game. It's 3-game series against the Marlins. I'm gonna sit this game out. Let's do load management. I'm tired. I probably partied a little bit the night before. I'm gonna just sit this game out. Like, can you imagine that shit? Can you seriously? Like, you don't see this in other sports. You don't see this in other sports, but in the NBA, you see it. It's prevalent, and it's a bad look. Like, I can't get. I really feel some type of way about it. I don't like it.
I agree.
And we can get it, man. And we can move on. We can move on to the next topic because it goes hand in hand. The ratings are down 22% from last year. I mean, it's continuing now a 2-year trend where the ratings are consistently going down. Now, there was an article I think I shared on the chat from USA Today that there was like the reasons highlighting a multitude of reasons why they could be the ratings decline in the NBA. I really feel like load management, if it's not number one, I think it's 1A. I think a lot, because what load management does is it tells your paying customer that the regular season means nothing. It means nothing.
Yep. I'm trying to think. What else you think it can be besides load management? Like, because I think the talent level is there. I mean, LeBron is playing. Like, you got your marquee players like playing. So I don't know what can be. Oh, you know what? I was about to say that. I think maybe because of the length of the season. Because
I think the length. I think the length of the season. Yep.
I want to say me and you, I think in the chat, was always a fan of the NBA should kick off the season on Christmas Day. Christmas Day, when they have those 5 games, that should be the night that NBA season starts. Because if NBA season starts, you're taking out like about a good 20 to 25 games out of the regular season, which means you're going to have more meaningful regular season games, which means you're going to have better basketball, more intense basketball. And players are going to take it a little more, they're going to take it a little more serious. So let's be honest. We can definitely tell, like, when, stars like LeBron James or Kevin Durant are kind of like coasting through the regular season, where it's kind of like, I'm here, but, I'm going to wait till when I get in playoff mode to kind of turn it up. But if you shorten the regular season,
said playoff mode is activated. Remember that? Like,
exactly.
But what were you doing in the other 35 games, LeBron? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So just imagine if you shorten this regular season of about 25 games, make it a 60 to 65 regular season games. I'm telling you, that will make more for intense basketball. We will see some serious, intense basketball. But of course, like me and you mentioned, I think offline. Money. Advertisements, TV contract deals and all that stuff.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the Bleacher, but something came out how the NBA is really concerned and that they're actually looking at like extreme things. Like they're talking about shortening the season but here's the thing, because this is what, like, the NBA TV deal, like, these networks can't be happy. Like, they're not happy that these ratings are going down. They're not happy that stars are sitting out. Like, TNT, and I'm giving the NBA $4 billion. Like, yo, Adam Silver, like, yo, what's good with you? Like, yo, what you got Kawhi? Right. Like, yo, I mean, why is Kawhi sitting out one of my nationally televised games? Yo, if you're ESPN, yo, why is so-and-so sitting out these games? Like, bro, I'm paying y'all $5 billion. Like, what's good here? Like this is like, when I'm giving somebody $5 billion and their players are sitting out purposely, like, yeah, we're going to have a discussion. We damn sure going to have a discussion. So I think the NBA, that's the one thing I do love about the NBA. The NBA is not tied to their history per se. Like, if they got to switch it up, they will switch it up. If they got to make some drastic changes, they will make some drastic changes. And I think, and you asked me before we started this, like, what do you think is the culprit of the decline in ratings? I think it's the fans. I think people have their eyes, they've been woke to it. I hate to use woke, but like, they've been awoken to it. Like, I think they realize, like, the NBA season is a joke. It don't mean anything. These players are coasting through 75% of the games. Like, there's too many teams that make the playoffs. There's too many bad teams that make the playoffs. The first round is too, like, it just, I feel like it's a combination of things, but I feel like the season is just way too long and it doesn't mean as much. Like, I feel like they should shorten the league. I feel like they should shorten it. I think they should shorten the league. We had that conversation offline too. I feel like they should shorten the league, but I definitely think they should shorten the season to 60 games, 62 at most. They should shorten the games, shorten the league, shorten the teams, I can't talk right now. They should shorten the season. And I think they should start on Christmas Day. I really do. I agree with you. I feel like it would make for much better basketball. I think guys will be healthier because there's not as many games. Like, load management won't not nearly be as a significant an issue with the 60-game schedule as it is 82 games. And make the regular season mean something. Make the regular season matter. Like, people always rag on baseball. Oh, it's 162 games. But those 162 games, they matter. Divisions in baseball, they matter. Wild card races, they matter. This 100, all of the 100, like, of course, like, you can miss a random series here, a random series here, but I like, those games matter in the grand scheme of things. Obviously, we already know about football. 16 games, they all matter. Like, it's 16. It's basically 16. And
you know what, too, Manny?
Every week.
To piggyback off your point too. You know, I think another reason why I think you'll probably agree with me on this one, why the NBA should shorten the season is because, you know, still, you know, October, November, we're still in NFL real estate. So you just think, if the NBA season starts on Christmas Day, by the time Christmas comes, we're at the end of the regular season for NFL. NFL is winding down. You know what I'm saying? So if NFL is winding down, bam, guess what? Boom, we got NBA season kicking off on Christmas Day. That's perfect real estate. Perfect real estate for ratings to be up as high as they need to be for the NBA, because now NFL season is coming to an end, and now we can focus on NBA now. Because a lot of people, you know, when NBA first kicks off, people are not really, you know, they're still in football mode. I mean, I know I kind of am a little bit as far as, you know, when I'm dealing with fantasy football and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, then I got to turn around and start looking at my fantasy basketball and looking at basketball stuff where I'm still like in the middle of football. You know what I'm saying? We're still, the country itself, we're still in the middle of NFL season. So if NBA was to start a little bit later, that's another reason why they start a little bit later. Because of quote unquote real estate, the media real estate. I think Christmas Day is perfect because NFL season is winding down.
I agree with you, bro. I'm again preaching to the choir, bro. I completely agree with you. You got to think about it. I mean, think about it. October, you got the Major League Baseball postseason going on. So half of the country is paying attention to that. The NFL is in the heart of its season. College football is going on.
College football is going on. Yep.
Going on. Like, you got some of the big games are going on in October. Like. And then like I don't know about you, but like some years like the NBA has literally crept up on me. Like the weekend of like, oh shit, the season's about to start. Like
yeah,
like I mean, like if I don't see that commercial watching a playoff baseball game where like, oh, the season's about to start on Tuesday, like if I don't see Ernie Johnson hyping up the damn season in that commercial in between a playoff game, a baseball playoff game, like I be forgetting the NBA season's about to start. Like that's how bad it is. Like, it'd be creeping up
that's
on
how
you.
it creeps up on you. It does. It does.
I agree
I
with
look
you,
up,
man.
it'd be October. I'm like, wait a minute, NBA season starting next Tuesday? Like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. I think a lot of fans. I've talked to them. I know you talked to them. I've heard them. I listen to sports radio. I've talked doing this podcast. Like I've talked to a lot of people. Like yo, bro, like huge basketball fans, like you and I. That yo, this regular season don't mean shit. Like, I'm a Laker fan, and we're actually good. We got the best record in the NBA. I'll be honest with you. Not every Laker game is appointment television. Like I skip Laker games. It's not don't get me wrong. Like, I'm paying attention. Like, I know what's going on. Like, if I'm home, like, I'll put it this way. If I'm home on a random night, and of course the Lakers are on, of course I'm watching the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I got the package, I'll turn the Laker game on. Like, but I'm not sitting there, like, ignoring my kids to go watch Lakers Suns on a random Tuesday night. I'm not sitting there telling my wife, no, babe, we can't do date night tonight because I gotta hurry home. I gotta hurry home and watch the Lakers and the Kings. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not. It's not appointment television. It's not. Like, I know, I could watch out of 82 games, I could watch maybe 60 of them. 60, 55, 60 of them. The big games.
Yeah.
Lakers Clippers, I'm there for that. Lakers Rockets, I'm there for that. Lakers Warriors, I'm there for that. Like, Lakers, even the Eastern Conference teams, like, I'll be interested in that. I want to watch Lakers Bucks. Like, I want to see Giannis against LeBron and AD. Like, but other games, like, I'm not watching that shit. I'm not. If I'm home, I'll watch it. But I'm not canceling life because I got to watch Laker games. Like, I'm not doing it.
You're right. Yeah, man. Make these regular season games matter, man.
And I'm sure you feel the same way about the Pistons.
Yes, of course. I mean, yeah, it's just this is ridiculous, man. They need to shorten their season up. And I'm gonna peep that Bleacher Report, that article that you was talking about, but I'm gonna look at it and see that, because if they do that, I think it would be great for the game if they shorten the season up.
Matter of fact, I'm trying to pull it up because I think it'd be good, man. And another thing too, and it was also mentioned in this Bleacher Report thing that I saw, changing the playoff structure, bro. I think that's another thing, man. I think the eight seed, the 8 teams, I think it should be one. I think it should be the 16 best teams in the league, regardless of conference. I think it should be 1 through 16 seeded that way. I think that makes the playoffs more exciting. I think that makes the playoffs more meaningful. Because, like, think about it. Like, look at last season, right? Did the Pistons really deserve to make the playoffs? I don't mean to disrespect you.
No. Look, let me tell you something. Look, I am a Piston Detroit. I'm a Detroit sports fan through thick and thin. But I'm also a realist. I'm not blind. I know when we suck. I know when we don't deserve to get stuff we don't deserve. And sometimes I feel like it's stuff we do deserve. So I'm not going to sit here. You don't ever feel like you're disrespecting me whenever you're talking bad about my Pistons, especially when we don't deserve. When we don't deserve to be as talked about or be praised or whatever. But yeah, no, they didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. They didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. They didn't deserve it. Yeah, I like that look. I like that look. Yeah, I like that look because Dwayne Casey was a first-year coach and he was a black guy, so I like that. But I mean, technically, we wasn't really a playoff team. We squeaked in. We barely squeaked in as an AC. We wasn't one of the best 16 teams in the. They need to go flat out just 16 regardless of conference. But then let me ask you this: how would you do your division? Would do division? It's like Southwest Division, Atlantic Division. Do you throw all that out the door? Like, how would you?
I think I'm throwing, because the divisions in the NBA don't mean anything now anyway. Like, what do you, as a Pistons fan, do you celebrate winning the Northwest Division? No, you can't even remember the last time the Pistons won the Northwest Division, right? It's
Central now. They changed it to Central, but yeah, last time was
that goes to show you right there.
Yeah, the Central. I remember last time was during the Billups. The Billups and Ben Wallace year.
I remember when the Mets won the NL East. Like, I don't remember when the Lakers won the Pacific Division. Like, I think 2010 when they won the championship. Like, divisions in basketball don't mean anything. Honestly, like, you make it. Obviously, I think you still have an Eastern and a Western Conference, and I think you make it the 16 best teams. And of course, and the biggest gripe is travel. And people who's like, "Oh, well, travel." I'm like, these teams travel anyway. Like they play 82 games. And they travel. that time anyway. So and there's more off days in the playoffs than there is during the regular season anyway. So the travel thing as a deterrent. And if you shorten the regular season to 60 games, you don't have to worry about the travel being a deterrent because the players are not playing as many games. So that helps that part. I think, imagine a best of 16, right? Or not best of 16, but the 16 best teams, right? And you got, let's just use last year, for example. You got the Warriors, or you got the Bucks versus who was the 16 best team last year? You got the Warriors versus if you're looking at it, if you're going off of last year, I think
if you said the 16,
you're eliminating conferences. So you're saying the 16 best teams.
Oh, I got you. Just the 16 best teams regardless. Yeah, I had.
He wouldn't have made the playoffs last year. The Pacers wouldn't have made the playoffs last year. So look at last year. There was the Bucks, the Celtics, the Raptors, the Bucks, the Celtics, the Raptors, and the Sixers in the East, right? And then you throw in the Pacers. That was the 5 best teams in the East right there. Those 5 teams. And then you take 11 teams from the West. You got the Warriors, Rockets, Spurs. So imagine a Bucks. I think the 16th seed last year would have probably been like the Spurs. Imagine a Bucks Spurs first round matchup. Is that not more of an intriguing matchup? Yeah. Is that more, and best out of 5? Yep, best out of 5. That's another reason. That's another way I was going. Best out of 5. Imagine Bucks Spurs best of 5 in the first round. Is that not more intriguing than Bucks Pistons?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's definitely more intriguing. I'm all in for that. I'm all in for that one.
You know what I'm saying? Or Warriors Pacers from last year. Best of 5. That's more intriguing than Warriors and Pelicans. Like nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, man.
Nobody wants to see that.
I'm for it. So I'm for it.
I think, and I really do believe the load manager has something to do with it too. I think that rub a lot of people the wrong way, yo. Like because I guarantee you, there's some people out there like, yo, if this motherfucker don't want to play, why should I watch? I ain't watching these stiffs. Like I'm not watching Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. Like there's some people that want to see the stars. Like the NBA is a star-driven league. You want to see the stars. I don't want to see Montrezl Harrell. I don't want to see, if I'm a Laker fan and LeBron and AD both take load management, I love Alex Caruso, but I don't pay to watch Alex Caruso. I want to watch LeBron.
Exactly. You want to see the stars.
Yeah, man. I think it's a big thing. I really do. I almost think it's not being made enough of. I also think the China thing has something to do with it. I know you're not as big on the China thing as I was, or I wasn't that you wasn't that pressed about it. I do think the China thing rubs some people the wrong way, just because, like I said this on the podcast, like you can't tell me that you're the league. The NBA likes to as for marketing purposes. Is money involved in it too, but the NBA likes to put itself as the league, the woke league. Look at us, Kaepernick would have had an opportunity in our league. You can't tell yourself that you're the progressive league, the league of tomorrow. Look at us, female executives, female coaches, female referees, and you out here taking blood money from China, and you letting China punk you. That's the worst part. You letting China punk.
I know they did. They did let China punk them. They let China.
You got
punk
Adam
them
Silver basically
completely.
saying, you got Adam Silver. Think about this, yo, B. I know you probably don't agree, but look at this. You got Adam Silver the day after that damn tweet went viral. Adam Silver apologizing to the Chinese government, bro. Apologizing. Yeah. All because the man said, "Believe in democracy, stand for Hong Kong." Like, come on. Like, yo, like I almost want to sit down with these dudes and say, like, really, guys, this is what we're doing? Like, seriously?
Right.
United States of America, we stand for quote unquote democracy, and we're apologizing for preaching democracy? Like, come on, son. Like really? I mean, James Harden apologizing for China. Fertitta, that idiot, the owner of the Rockets, Daryl Morey's tweets don't exemplify the Rockets organization. What?
Yeah, man.
You're an American company. You do realize you're not the Shaping China Rockets. You are the Houston Rockets. You're not the Beijing China Rockets. Yeah, exactly. Like,
right.
So I mean, bro, I think that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Again, was it a huge amount? Was it a significant amount? I'm not gonna say that, but I think it did play a role. I think it did play a role. I think some people were turned off by that shit. What do you think?
Man, I think definitely. I completely forgot about that China situation. I think a lot of fans, American fans, it just kind of rubbed them off the wrong way, and it was like, well, we thought y'all. It was kind of like y'all was talking all this talking, but y'all not walking the walking. I mean, y'all was supposed to be this, be in this. So what's that thinking forward? This thinking forward league, and we're different from NFL and MLB and all that stuff. Where almost it kind of showed that y'all just like the rest of them. So I can see why fans would be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can't trust y'all. Why? How can I trust y'all? How can I think that y'all is forward thinking? You know what I'm saying? About it.
Yeah, right. The NFL makes no bones about it. They've always said it. We're about the shield. Our number one goal is to protect the shield, which is code for we're going to do everything that's in the best interest of our team, of our league. They have made no bones about it. The NFL doesn't make. They're about the money. The NFL. They're about the money. They're about the money and protecting that shield. If they lose $1, the NFL is fretting. They don't give a fuck. They can make $10 billion. If they made $10 billion in last year, if they made $10 billion and they lost $1 off that bottom line, the NFL is not upset. They are about making money. And I respect it. I respect it because you know what? They don't sit there and parade themselves out to be something that they're not. Everybody knows the NFL ain't shit. They're about the bottom line. You can't be the NBA and parade yourself as this woke league, and then you come out there and you taking money from China. And then you got people that are outspoken about all kinds of issues, not just race relations and police brutality, but all kinds of issues. Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich, they can't wait to knock Trump on anything stupid. They can't wait to knock anything going on in politics. But yet, when it comes to China, humida and I don't know enough, and just taking passes like, yo, you look bad. You look real suspect. Yeah, you look fraudulent. Not a good. Yeah, it's not a good look. That's definitely not a good look for the league, man. Like, that on top of load management, this is not bad. Low key, bro, it's been a rough start to the 2019-2020 NBA season. I mean, they've had a real rough. And it's sad because we came into the season with a lot of anticipation and excitement. Like we did because we was like, oh man, no more super teams now. It's like, everybody got like two superstars. It's spread out now. It's like wide open. Nobody's a favorite. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh man, this is dope. Like this is cool. But now it's just the way they started that preseason up, man. Yeah, stuff. You got load management. Yep. Load management and just It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Let's talk about some on the court stuff real quick though. You brought up Luka Doncic. You're surprised that he's taking that next step, man. Is like, do you think can he keep it up? Like, is this guy is he a superstar? Like, is he a guy that's going to take that? No, you can probably answer it with look at the numbers, look at what he's doing. But I didn't expect this. Like, I really didn't expect this. Like, I thought he had a great rookie year last year. He showed promise, and I was impressed by him. But I don't think anybody saw this coming. Like, yo, honestly, like, I tweeted this the other day. He's been the best player in the league so far this year. I don't think anybody can even debate it. He's playing. Yeah, he's playing MVP caliber ball right now. He's playing like, look, I'm the MVP of this league this year. And the thing that I'm really impressed about him is that in this era of athleticism, this man is doing what he's doing without even being the most athletic guy on the court. Like, he's doing this. That's why I was saying, like, he's playing like the game is easy for him because he don't have to be the most athletic, the fastest, the guy that can spring over everybody. He pick his spot. He know his spots on the court. He know how to, and people were saying, like, well, he don't play defense like Larry Bird. It's kind of hard to kind of throw that out there because Larry Bird played defense in the era where you can be physical. So, to knock off, to knock off his, he's not defensively a proud like Larry Bird is. It's like, well, you can play where Larry Bird play where you can hand check and all that stuff. So of course you're gonna look like a better defender when you can hand check. And he's young. But, he's young. Yeah, it's his second year. It's his second year, man. It's his second year. So, like, I don't think we're gonna see. I think he's still gonna, he's still gonna be playing at this level
for years to come. Now the question is he going to get better? It's almost kind of like, well, damn, how can he get better from what he's playing right now? But I mean, you never know. He might get a more knocked down 3-point shot. You know, he might get to points where he can knock down a 3 more, or he might develop a nice post game where he can get you a small forward on the block, put him on the block, get him in foul trouble, turn around and shoot game. We never know. But this year, I just didn't think he was going to take that leap as far as just how easy the game is looking for him. He's playing like the game is easy, and to me, that is so impressive, man. That reminded me of Kyrie Irving when he first came into the league. I'm like, yo, this dude's going to be good because he plays like the game is just easy for him. So that's what I think. I think Luka is that real deal. I don't think this is no fluke. I don't think this is just a flash in the pan. I think this is just we are witnessing the future of the star, and I'm pretty sure Mark Cuban is glad to give the keys to him after, post Dirt and Whiskey retiring. Sometimes for owners, when you have a player like Dirt, a era-changing player like Dirt, it's kind of hard to wonder if you're going to get, kind of duplicate that or get someone that's close to that. And I don't know. I think Mark Cuban got his guy. I think he got his guy, man. And Luka, I think he got his guy he can build around. And if KP can stay healthy for a long extended amount of time and still improve his game, I think Mark Cuban and Dallas, they're going to be all right, man. They're going to be good. They're going to be good.
Yeah. What about you? The dude is legit, man. He's legit. I mean, I liked him last year. He gave me a good vibe last year when I watched him play a couple games. I think I saw a game he had against the Suns where he balled out last year, and I was like, this dude is kind of nice. And then, but you're still a little, not skeptical, but like, okay, let's see it, year 2 and see how he progresses. And you like to see that maturation and that progress from year 1 to year 2. You like to see young players improve year to year, but the drastic improvement this kid has made from year 1 to year 2, where it's just startling. It's like, it's amazing. Like it's eye opening. Like he's doing this every night, bro. Who does he remind you of? Like I hate to say it because I know the common thing people will say is, oh, he's Larry Bird. But he honestly reminds me of Larry Bird. Like he's the closest thing I think we've seen to Larry Bird. Like I know a lot of people threw out, oh, every good white player is Larry Bird. So everybody's like, oh, he reminds me of Larry Bird. But he's Larry Bird.
I wouldn't say Larry Bird. Yeah, I wouldn't say Larry Bird just yet because, I mean, if anything I was comparing to Larry Bird was Dirt and Whiskey because Dirt can shoot the 3-ball really good. Luka don't got that 3-ball deadly. He don't got that assassin 3-pointer shot yet like Bird did. Bird was water with that. I mean, Bird came in the league with that wet 3-pointer. And just imagine if he was if Bird had the green light to shoot a 3-ball like Steph did, I think Bird would be up there having a 3-point record because Bird drunk was water. So I wouldn't compare Luka to Bird just yet. Now if Luka started hitting threes like they free throws, I'm like, okay, then we might have something there. But I don't really know who his game remind me of, but I mean, it's dope. I mean, I think that's kind of good that his game don't remind me of nobody. That shows he got some originality. So I like that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with him being a Luka. Yeah.
He reminds me, I mean, he's got some originality to him, but I will say his playmaking ability, the fact that he's not as athletic as the players that he's playing in, I think that reminds me of Bird. Yep. He's 6'8", he's playing the point. Bird could play basically all 5 positions. Yeah, I think Luka can too. And he's sneaky athletic. Like he's not LeBron, obviously, but he's not a stiff out there either. So yeah, I like him, man. I think the kid's and sometimes like I know people hate saying this, like, oh, he's got the it factor. Like he's got that it factor. Like you could tell, like when you first saw LeBron, you was like, okay, this dude is a star. Like, when Kobe started to figure it out, like, okay, this dude is a star. Like he got that it factor. He got that star factor. Like, okay, people are gonna pay to go see him.
And I tweeted this out a few days ago saying, so far this year, I hope we get to see Luka, Trey, and I mentioned Devin Booker too. I said I hope we get to see Luka, Trey, and Devin Booker because I really think them stars, them the future stars of the NBA, man. I think those guys. I would like to see those guys get in playoff mode. So I think it's good for the NBA if we do see some of the young stars that we already proclaiming to be like, the it guys. I would love to see them in playoff basketball. I think that would be dope if we see them in playoff basketball.
The only thing with me,
I would like.
The only thing with me and go ahead, my bad.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the only thing with me and Devin Booker though is like I kind of want to see him do it on a just even a semi-playoff team. I know Phoenix has gotten off to a good start, but that's the only knock I've ever had on Devin Booker is that he puts up these numbers, but Phoenix has been so bad. And I know that's not all his fault. You can't necessarily just put it on one player. But I mean, the NBA is the type of sport where one player can change the trajectory of a team. And like I just want to see more of those stats translate into wins for Phoenix. Like if Devin Booker is this good, like I want to see that translate more into wins than it has over the last couple of years. Because he's put up gaudy stats, but I'm worried. Like I don't think he is, but I'm worried that he's one of these guys that he's going to put up on bad teams.
I fuck with Luka. I mean, I fuck with Devin Booker though. Man, I like his game a lot.
He's nice. I like his game a lot. I mean, I watch him play, and I'm like, yo, this dude he's got next. He's truth. But I don't know, man. I want to see Phoenix at least win 38.
So look. So pretty much, you just think he's getting the Barry Sanders effect. Like, yeah, to an extent, great and all, but you just on these whack ass lines doing nothing.
It's different. Well, it's different. It's different too with football and basketball. Like football is a running back. The running back doesn't control the game as much. Like with the NBA, if you get one star player, superstar, transcendent player, that's what I say. Like people always like confuse superstar, star. Like to me, transcendent players, those once in a generation type, like LeBron, once in a generation, Kobe, once in a generation, Kobe, MJ, once in a generation, Larry Bird, Magic, those once in a generation guys. Yeah. Like you can find a DeMar DeRozan in a draft. You can find those guys.
Right.
You can find
a Kyle Lowry. You can find a Kyle Lowry in the draft.
Yeah, you can find those guys. Yeah, you can find a Paul George. You know what I'm saying? But those superstars, those guys that you build your franchise around for 15, 20 years, that Luka Doncic has the opportunity to be. Is Devin Booker in that discussion? I don't know yet. Like I gotta see. Now if he this is his year. I think this is this year where if he could take Phoenix, if Phoenix can be a sneaky playoff team or a team that wins 40 plus games or whatever games, like, okay, I'm ready to put Devin Booker in that discussion. Just not yet for me. Not yet. But that's not saying that I don't like him because I actually like him a lot.
Right.
I like Devin Booker's game.
I got you. Yeah, me too. I like
you brought up,
man. He's dope.
You brought up Trae Young. You live in Atlanta. Is anybody not having buyer's remorse because that's a negative connotation, but seeing the start that Luka Doncic is off to, and Trae Young's also a good start too, to his credit too. So that's not knocking him.
Oh yeah. But Trae Young, he had some great games so far.
If you were running Atlanta and you had the gift of revisionist history, would you have made that deal still?
Yeah, because both of them are future stars in this league, so it's not like one playing like ass and the other dude is balling out. Yeah, it'd be different if Trae Young is out here averaging 8 points a game and 3 assists a game, and it's going into the second year. Yeah. Then we can start being like, I don't know. But man, have you seen some of them games Trae Young's been having? I'm looking like Atlanta, they good. Yeah, I'm like Atlanta good. I mean, you can't really say, we should have got one guy over the other because they both looking very good. Let's not forget, last year. I mean, I think if Trae Young didn't have the slow start he did the first half of the season last year, I think he would have won because he played better than Luka the second half of the season last year. So, who's to say, you can feel bad about getting some. Cause I know people were saying like, oh man, we should have got Luka. Like, no, I think Trae is good, man. I think I was telling people Atlanta, homegrown Atlanta folks, I definitely think they got their next star. I'm like, look, this guy can be y'all next Dominique Wilkins. It's a shame that he's just now getting a damn statue, but I'm like, this guy can be, Trae Young can be y'all next Dominique Wilkins. He can be y'all next star to build around and to like really bring people to the games because he's definitely exciting to watch. He's fun to watch, just like the human highlight film was. So I feel good. I think if you are born and raised a Hawks guy, a fan, I think you should feel good about Trae Young and what the future holds. Finally, the Atlanta front office they got some people that care about about winning. So I think the sky's the limit for Atlanta. I believe if you keep this young core group of guys, and if Cam Reddish started to get his footing in, and getting his stride. If you keep these guys around for another 3 seasons, I think by 3 seasons from now, we're going to be saying this championship or bust for Atlanta. Like, they're going to be that good to where we're going to say it's either a ship or a bust. Like, that's what I think.
Interesting. No, I like to bring that up because you guys, those guys are going to be forever linked. They're going to be forever linked.
They're going to be forever linked.
Doncic and Trae Young. Yeah. So I just find it interesting. Like, would some people do a do-over on that right now? Just not just because, and again, not on a negative for Trae Young. I just think how Luka's playing right now, it makes you, at least it makes it a conversation. It makes you think like, oh, okay, what if you could do a do-over? Like, would you do it? Like, I would ask Atlanta that. Like, if you had the opportunity to do it over again, they won't publicly ever say that, but would they have taken? Yeah,
but you also got to think too is like the systems and the coaching and stuff that they're playing in. Sometimes that might play effect. Maybe Luka probably wouldn't have flourished as he is right now. Playing with a great coach. Play with Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And maybe Trae would have had a different kind of outcome if he was playing in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know. Yeah, you never know. I definitely think coaching probably could play it. Right. So, I think it's different.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is different. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, man, let's transition over to Cap to finish off. I don't even know where to even go with this whole Kaepernick situation. I don't know. We've talked about it offline. I'm kind of just mentally fatigued with the whole Colin Kaepernick thing.
Me too.
I said this last week.
Me too.
I'm just I'm kind of over it in the sense like, because I've resigned myself to the fact that I don't think he's ever going to play football again. I think I made that mind up last year. And I still kind of held up hope, but I just like, I think it's just come and gone, man. Like the whole thing, like, I just think these people are not going to let him play. He sacrificed his career. When he took that knee, he sacrificed his career.
Let me ask you this. So, just so happened, just a little fly on the wall. What if Kaepernick does play in the NFL? Like, will it be worth it at the end of the day? Like, because now I'm at the point to where, like, okay, what if he do play? Like, are we going to feel like mission accomplished? Or is it going to be where the NFL struck a deal, or he struck a deal with NFL to where XYZ, or something where it's like, well, is it really worth it, him sitting out for 3.5, 4 years to play in the NFL, and he's finally playing, and he might get like one start and then don't play anymore? Is it really worth it at the end of the day if all that happens? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at that point now. I'm looking at it at that point. Hypothetically.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, is it really worth it? I don't really think so, honestly. I mean, but here's the thing. That's going on the pretense that you don't think he can play anymore. You don't think he's a decent player. I actually think that he's a better quarterback than probably half of the starters that we got in the league right now.
So don't get me started on that.
I mean, yeah. So we're not debating. We all know Colin Kaepernick should have a spot. Fuck a spot. He should be a starter on an NFL team right now. Like, if you know football, Colin Kaepernick is.
Cincinnati would love him. Cincinnati would love to have Kaepernick. I mean, that's the team Cincinnati. Right there that needs. Yes. Yeah.
I did this last week. Let's run down to the team. Let's run down to the teams right now. Cincinnati.
Okay.
Is Colin Kaepernick better than Andy Dalton and Ryan Finley? Absolutely. I don't think anybody would argue.
Yeah.
Miami. Is he better than Fitzpatrick? Absolutely. I don't think there's even a debate. I'm not going to put Arizona. That's not fair. They got a young quarterback. Teams with young quarterbacks that are still showing a little promise, I'm not going to do that necessarily. But yes, obviously you can say that. Is Colin Kaepernick better than
Chicago? What do you think about Chicago?
Chicago, the Trubisky, because we've gotten 3 years of Trubisky. I think we know what Trubisky is right now at this point. Like, Chicago, is Colin Kaepernick better than Trubisky? Yes. I don't even think there's an argument to be had there. I mean, name another team. A real hot team. I was going to go to Indianapolis. You read my mind. Indianapolis right now. Is he better than Jacoby Brissett? Yeah. I think he is.
Yeah.
You put him with Frank Reich and that offense and those receivers and that running game. Like, is he not better? Absolutely.
Right.
I don't even think it's a debate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so we all know he's better than half of these dudes. So it's just like, it's not a debate about whether Colin Kaepernick should be playing or not be playing. But I think he should just
Washington too. We forgot about Washington.
Oh yeah, I left Washington out. Yeah. Oh yeah, Washington. It's not even a fucking. And I like Dwayne Haskins, but come on now, like it's not even.
Yeah.
It's not even. It's not even worth debating at this point.
What about your boy? What about your boy Sam Darnold? Sam Darnold, the Jet.
Is he better than Sam Darnold right now? Probably, yeah. But that's not saying that Sam Darnold isn't going to be good. I think Sam Darnold has. He's played better the last couple of weeks, so I've got hope in Sam Darnold. Like, to me, the thing with the Jets is more Adam Gase than it is Sam Darnold. But we don't even need to beat that shit down. We didn't need to go down that
so with Ben out, you think Steelers can use Kaepernick?
Oh yes, yes. He's better than Mason Rudolph. He's better than I don't even know who the backup is. Who's the backup? Dobbs? No, not Dobbs. Yeah. That's not Josh Dobbs.
I thought it was Dobbs.
Yeah, that's no. I think they traded him, didn't they?
They probably did.
That tells you everything. That we don't even know who the backup quarterback is for.
Right.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So this isn't an indictment on him, and we don't think he should play football. I just at this point, has he not come to the realization that these white folks are not going to let him play? They're not. These owners are not going to let him play. They're not going to. They're not going to. They're going to die.
A lot of it, and I honestly think a lot of it has to do. I ain't gonna say a lot of it, but a good percentage of it has to do with Trump. Remember what Trump was saying about him playing in NFL, and a lot of these owners, they scared of Trump. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these owners they don't want Trump to
campaign. All 32 owners donated to Donald Trump's campaign.
Yep. So you know what I'm saying, man. So it's like I think Trump had a lot to do with that too, which is unfortunate. I think if Trump didn't say what he said about Colin Kaepernick, I think Colin Kaepernick would have been in the league. But when he put fear into all those owners, they, like you said, that financially backed them, it was a wrap at that point. You already knew. The writing was already on the wall at that point. It was already on the wall.
Yeah, the writing was on the wall, and that's kind of where I'm at now, man, because people, how people were last week, all emotional and revolutionary and ready to just break up the NFL and fuck this shit. And I'm just kind of like, what did y'all really expect? Did y'all really have these delusions of grandeur that Colin Kaepernick was going to get, he's going to, and look, he looked great in the workout. But again, he's not showing us anything that we don't already know. We already know he can play. So nothing he did in that workout surprised me. Nothing he did in that workout shocked me. That he threw the ball as well as he did. I mean, yeah, we know that. He's got God-given ability. He's got a right. He still has a cannon for an arm. We all know this. So it's not a surprise. It's not a shock. It's just a matter of the NFL doesn't want to sign this dude. They just want him to go away. They want him to go away. They pay lip service to. And I think Jay-Z's really trying. I don't know where you stand on the whole Jay-Z thing, deal with the NFL. I don't think we ever talked about it. What do you stand on the whole Jay-Z thing with the NFL? Do you think he means well? Do you think he's just a puppet? What do you think the whole Jay-Z thing with the NFL is? I never got your opinion on that.
I never know the whole behind the scenes, but just from the optics of it, when Jay-Z, when we first was hearing about Jay-Z making the deal with the NFL and everything like that, and he was going to be a part of the, for Super Bowl halftime entertainment, from the optics of it, it didn't look good because the previous year he was telling Travis Scott not to mess with the NFL, not to mess with him. So from the optics of it, it looks bad. I don't know we all don't really know what's Jay-Z's internal goal of doing this. But I definitely was side-eyeing Jay-Z. I wasn't I'm canceling him or nothing like that or no shit like that. Because, Jay-Z done a lot, for us or whatever and to help put us on. And it just do make moves for black folks in general. So, I'm cool with that. But this particular situation, just from the optics, I was just like, I don't know about this one, Jay. I don't know if I can agree with you on this one. Yeah. It was kind of shaky. It was it looks kind of shaky. But I was still more so let me wait and see before I be like, all right, Jay, you dumb. Before I just give him oh, hell no, Jay, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because I didn't know the whole optics of it. But just going off of you telling black artists not to perform, and then you make a deal with the NFL to be a part of putting the halftime show together, it's kind of from the optics, they don't look good, Jay. I don't know about that one. So that's where I was.
I think that's how they framed it because because it's like if you bring in Jay-Z, like what else could you be bringing him in for besides just like some halftime entertainment shit? Like, so I think that's how they framed it. I think obviously Jay's going to have a little bit more influence than just, hey, we should have Nas be the halftime performance this year. Like, I think his influence is going to be more than that. And what I tell people, because people went off the deep end with that Jay-Z involvement and shit. Like, oh, he's a coon. Oh, bringing up shit with Dame. What does Dame Dad have to do with Jay-Z and Roger Goodell in the NFL? Like, that's nothing. Yeah. They're two separate situations, 10, 15 years apart. Like, I don't understand.
Right.
But you know the deep end with the whole Jay-Z thing. Like, first of all, I think we need to sit back and wait to see this play out, number one. And the other thing that I didn't understand is, like, Jay-Z really has nothing to gain from this. Jay-Z already got $1 billion. Oh, well, he just took the NFL's money. Jay-Z already got $1 billion without the NFL. Like, he don't need the NFL. Like,
no, he really don't.
What is he gaining from this? If anything, he has more to lose than to gain, because his reputation's on the line. He got us looking at him like, oh, really, Jay? Like, so if anything, he has more to lose than to gain. But yeah, the whole Jay-Z thing. So I think Jay-Z's actually sitting at the table, because that's, having to see that the whole seat at the table thing. Like, I think Jay-Z's really trying to make influence and make changes within the NFL circles. So I really do believe that. I feel positively saying that I think he is trying to, and if you believe the rumors that he has something to do with putting the workout together, like, I think he's trying to influence these people. But I just feel like these people are stuck in their ways, man. Like, I think these owners are too terrified that half their fan base are going to just say, oh, fuck, which I think is bullshit, because I don't think NFL fans, if Colin Kaepernick, you and I know damn well, if Colin Kaepernick was to start for the Cincinnati Bengals and he led them on a 8-game winning streak and they finished 8-8 or 9 or 7-9, how many Bengals fans will be sitting there buying Kaepernick?
Winning cures everything.
Exactly.
I don't care who you are. Winning will cure everything. Winning will cure cancer if it can. If you
Michael Vick was a pariah. Michael Vick was a pariah when he was killing them damn dogs. He went to the Eagles and started winning some games. What happened? They wanted to bench Donovan McNabb and play Michael Vick.
Man,
so I really don't want to hear what fans got to say about that.
Yep, winning will make fans have amnesia quick as hell. Quick as hell.
Absolutely. So you're kind of like me, man. You just kind of feel like the whole Kaepernick thing is just kind of mentally exhausted. Like, at this point, like, what's the point? So do you think he should really just move on? Like, do you really think he should just be like, yo, I took a sacrifice. I believed in what I believed in, and I still believe in what I believe in, and I'm more focused now on just whatever, talking to people, helping my community, whatever, et cetera, than just to be focused on playing football at this point? You feel like he should just move on?
Yeah, I think so, because it's 3 years going on, almost 4 now. You've already sued the NFL for what you believe they did to you. So I just think at this point he just needs to move on. And you already see how this whole workout fiasco went down. So exactly. I think at this point, I think the workout stuff, I think that was a cherry on the top. I think he should definitely just be like, all right, I already know what y'all about, so I'm just gonna chalk it up and just continue to work on my communities and make sure my communities is good. Like, I'm done with the NFL. I'm smart. I did smart with my money. I'm doing good. Let me focus on the stuff that needs me more than just some just an NFL team, just a racist ass owner. So let me focus my energy on something more important. I think that's what he should do.
Because I don't think he needs the money. I mean, I don't. No. I'm not in his pockets. I'm not in his bank account. But I can believe that Colin Kaepernick made pretty decent money in the NFL in his time in the NFL. So I don't think from a standpoint. He may not have the money that he would have had he just continued to play all these 3 years. But of course, I think his bank, he ain't struggling. Let's just put it that way. He ain't struggling. No. So I don't think and I'm not saying that it's a money grab for him. Like, I don't think he's doing this for the money, clearly. But I just think that I'm with you, man. I'm kind of, and I came to this epiphany last week, bro. I was just kind of like, I'm kind of just over this, man. Like, I'm just over this whole Kaepernick thing. It's just like something that just won't go away. And again, I know some people are going to listen to this episode. Oh, y'all cooning for the NFL. Kaepernick deserves it. We're not saying that he doesn't deserve a job. We're not saying that he should. Right. Again, I will say this again. He is better than half of the NFL starters right now. half. So this is not us saying, oh, fuck Kaepernick, he don't deserve to be in it. We're not saying that. We're just saying that at this point, what else do you have to see that lets you know that these owners are not going to let you play? And I don't even think it's like in a malicious way. I don't even think, I think some owners are racist and some of them are just being whatever. I think some of them are just too terrified. I think some of them are just be like, yo, I don't even want to deal with this.
Yeah, they scared of Trump. They scared of the backlash. They just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They scared they're going to lose
the backlash.
fan bases.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Again, the NFL is all about that money. Anything that would affect that money in the slightest, they're not fucking with. They're not fucking with.
They're not. Yeah, they're scared of it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. All right, man. Yeah. I think we covered everything. Man, and then some.
Yeah, we did. We talked a lot. Yeah, this was dope. Thanks for having me on, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thank you, man. Before you go, man, go ahead and plug everything. Go ahead and plug everything coming up with Dead End, all the shows, videos, etc. Man, sell us.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, of course, follow me on the socials, Beezy430, BEEZY430, of course, across Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. I mean, everything. Beezy430 across the board. You'll find me. Yeah, of course, Dead End Hip Hop. We shooting Gangstar review tomorrow, so hopefully that'll be up. You listen to the recording. It should be up later on this week. Of course, we film Is the Mic Still On? Catch that on Wednesdays. Dead End Gaming, we live stream on Twitch. Dead End Video Gaming, Twitch every Tuesdays, and the podcast comes out on Fridays. Of course, Dead End Sports, we record that on Tuesdays. Podcast comes out on Thursdays. So, yeah, man, just work, man. Like, we still working. And yeah, folks, let's just hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm assuming this is going to be up the week of Thanksgiving. So, everybody that's listening, I hope you guys enjoy your family, enjoy the eating, enjoy watching football, doing whatever, spending time with your family, all that other good stuff, and don't go crazy on Black Friday.
Yeah, every year I say it, don't go crazy on Black Friday. Yeah, man, thank you, man. Thank you for having being a guest on the podcast, man. Finally, man, we finally got you on the show.
Yeah, man, finally. Like this was it was long overdue. It was definitely long overdue.
Long overdue. Yeah. First of many, hopefully. First of many, because we definitely got to do this again.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Man. Yeah, and shout out to everybody. Shout out to the whole Dead End family, man. All the podcasts, all the videos, the writers on the website, everybody, man. Shout out to everybody in the Dead End side of things. This podcast, of course, is available on deadendpodcast.com, of course. So just everybody, Dead End family, the whole Dead End family, man. Shout out to you guys, man, for real. We're going to get up out of here, enjoy the rest of our, we're recording this on Saturday. It'll be out tomorrow, of course. But enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm not sure what we're going to do next weekend. It is my birthday on Thursday, Thanksgiving. So
oh, wow.
I'm going out of town.
Wow.
Yeah. It's every 4 or 5 years my birthday ends up on Thanksgiving. So it's my favorite holiday and my birthday on the same day. So it's a good year.
Crazy.
It's a good year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm not sure schedule-wise if I'm going to have a show out next week, next Sunday. I'll keep you guys posted on Twitter and whatnot if I do decide to do a show. It'll probably be a solo show if I do a show, because obviously getting a guest to come on during Thanksgiving weekend, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, well, I'll keep you guys posted. But yeah, if I don't come back next week with the episode of the podcast, man, as always, thank you for listening to the podcast, and you guys can follow us. You guys know the details. I don't need to repeat it, but yeah, Thanksgiving is coming up on Thursday. Please have a happy, safe, blessed Thanksgiving. Enjoy your Black Friday shopping if you choose to do that. Please be safe doing that as well. But yeah, enjoy Thanksgiving. Be thankful. Enjoy your time with your family, friends, loved ones, etc., man. And just be thankful for all the good things in your life, man. Good and not so good things. Just be thankful, man. Just be thankful. So it's a good time of year to be around people you love and your loved ones, your close ones. So yeah, man, just hopefully all you guys have a happy, safe, blessed Thanksgiving, man. As always, I'd like to say thank you to Beezy for being my guest on the podcast. We'll catch y'all next week, or maybe next week, but definitely 2 weeks from now, we'll definitely catch y'all on another episode of the podcast. I am Manny Brown for Beezy430. We are out of here. Peace.
Serious sound. Guys, I'll make this quick so you can get back to your murder podcast or whatever you're listening to. I'm Drama from Group Chat, the #1 podcast in the world. We make cool people smarter and smart people cooler. Seriously. Our topics range from Kim Kardashian to Jeff Bezos to Donald Trump and everything in between. If you want to be entertained and educated, check us out right now in the podcast app. Just search Group Chat. By the way, the ex-boyfriend isn't the killer. It's her best friend who is. Sorry for ruining that. But now that you have a little bit more time, give us a listen.